Hey everybody, big trigger warning on this one. We are going to be talking about suicide and self-harm. So if that is something you can't deal with right now, don't watch this video. So hey everybody. So, you know, that opening was a bit of a downer, right? So no surprise, and you can see it in the title. This video is inspired by DJ tWitch, good old tWitch, taking his life at the age of 40. And, you know, it is a surprise. And I think for the most part, when we hear that someone has committed suicide, the first thing that always comes out of our mouths is, but he always seemed so happy, but he had such a beautiful family, but he was so successful, but. And I've said that a lot more times in my life than I would like to, in response to finding out that someone I know, and in one case in particular, someone I love dearly, who took their own life. And the word shouldn't be but, it should be and. He took his own life and he seemed so happy. He committed suicide and he had a beautiful family. He ended his life and he was so successful. And it's not about but, it's about and. The human condition is about and. It is about how we live in constant paradox. And the light and the dark don't always seem to balance out. But I think, you know, we are designed, I learned this year, it's a really great quote. It said the human brain is designed to keep us alive, not keep us happy. And so I took that a little bit further, and when I really thought deeply about it, I realized that mental illness is about that instinct to keep us alive getting miswired. It's misfiring. And it does exactly the opposite. And first of all, if you are thinking about it, even if you don't have a plan, you're like, I'm not really thinking about it, you know. Because, you know, sometimes, you know, you're talking to your therapist, your psychiatrist, or whatever, and they start asking you the questions. And, you know, they go to, well, you know, do you have a plan? Have you thought of a plan? Have you thought of ways to do it? And those are all, you know, all warning signals. Absolutely warning signals. Dial 988. In the description, there's a links to a bunch of different ways to reach out for help. But even if you are starting to feel like you just can't do this anymore, and I think that is where so many people are right now. And every year at this time, as we start to move into the big holiday season and New Year's, some years, as we've gotten to this time of year, I have felt very strongly that I cannot do it. I just can't do it anymore. Sometimes it feels like I don't even want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And then you tell yourself that, well, you would never do anything because you love your family. You know, and I told myself that, and I was about, I guess 11 years ago was the last time that I really was there deeply. And I you know, was trying to convince my psychiatrist that I was okay. but I would never do anything because I love my husband and I love my son so much, and I would never do that to my family. And he's like, yeah, I understand that. And let's get you into a more intensive treatment program though, because one day, if we don't really work on this, one day, I love my family won't be enough. Or one day, depression will lie to you and you will say, I love my family so much, and they're better off without me. Depression fucks with your head. It lies. It is evil. And it is also a part of us. And I've really been working on having compassion for my depressed part, for my broken parts, for the parts that I'm starting to realize that no matter how old I get, those parts of me are always going to be a part of me. And they are wounded, and they deserve my respect, my love, my compassion. But I also need to make sure that they know their place in the scheme of me, and that they don't get to call the shots. And I love you, and I hear you, and I respect you, and I'm hugging you. But now we're gonna but we can also and. I can say all of those things, and let's do and. I love you, I have compassion for you, I respect you, I'm holding you in my arms, and you do not control me. It's not easy. And that's why before you get to the really bad spot, I implore you to get help. Now, we're kind of in a bit of a crisis in terms of mental health care. But luckily we have all kinds of different hotlines and text places and different ways that you can reach out. And I want you to reach out before you get to the point where you feel like you can't go on anymore. If you're already there, absolutely get help. And everybody is saying it on social media right now. Everybody's saying check on your friends. Check on your friends. So I'm asking you to check on your friends. But I want you to actually do it. Don't just, post it on your social media, but actually check on your friends. You know? And even more so, check in on the friends that don't look like they need you to check in on them. You're like, well, how do I do that? Like, how would someone who was friends with tWitch, for instance, how would someone bring up that conversation? I mean, how the heck do you know? So let's say you have a friend who is always smiling and laughing, who is always doing everything for everyone, who just seems to be so filled with life and joy. I mean, they exude it. You get into their presence and there's a different energy and you feel so good when you're around them. And you think to yourself, this is how you should be alive. This is how it is to be alive, is to be like this person. Melissa, how do I check in on that friend? I'm gonna look like a wacko. If I go up to that friend and I'm like, hey, you seem to have it really going on. You okay, man? I want you to do it exactly like I just said it. Because I didn't. And the thing is that no one could have stopped him in that moment. And there's a lot of people right now who are feeling like they should have done something. They should have known. They should have done more. And this is the tragedy of all of this. I'll carry that with me forever about my friend that I lost 2 years ago. He took his own life and I never saw it coming. And, you know, I wish every once in a while I would have just checked in on him and said, hey man, how you doing? You doing okay? You doing all right? You know, it's okay if you're not. And I'm a safe person you can talk to if you're ever just not feeling okay. And your friend may be like looking at you like, what? Like, no, man, I'm fine. I'm great. I'm great. And you're like, that's great. I'm really glad to hear that. But if you're ever not, I just want you to know that I'm here. And I can't think of a person who would be offended by that. Especially a person who is filled with a love of life and who isn't somewhere in the back of their head battling depression. But every now and again, you might come across a friend who pauses for a minute and just says, thanks. You know, I haven't really been feeling myself lately. I don't ever want anyone to feel like it is their responsibility to stop me from killing myself or to stop another human being from doing it. And so I feel like the check on your friends thing can get really kind of, you know, what if you didn't check on your friend and they killed themselves? Like, that's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. But guess what? You can check on them and it can still happen. But I think that part of what we all need right now is a little more openness and compassion towards each other. And particularly check on your guy friends. Women, for whatever reasons, and this is not a blanket statement, but it is a bit of a blanket statement because there are differences in the way genders communicate. It just is the way it is. And trust me, I'm 55 years old. I can see it. It doesn't always line up exactly, but I do see it. Women socially are acculturated to share our feelings and our struggles with each other more than men. Men don't have safe places to do those things. And I really wish, like, my husband's fine. I just want to say that. But the good thing about belonging to a church was that there was a really great men's group. And so it was a safe space for men to talk about some of that stuff that in every other interaction that they have with other men, they don't have. And since we don't belong to the church anymore, my husband doesn't really have that. He has friends that he hangs out with, but hanging out with friends is different than going to a men's group. You know, it's expected in a men's group that we are going to lift each other up. You know, my husband, we found the church actually because he found the men's group online. And he was just, it was a lot. Life was a lot several years ago, and he you know, needed something more than just even talk therapy. He needed people. He needed to be able to talk about this stuff, and he found the men's group, and like he walked in not knowing anybody, and they were like, you know, well, what's going on? What brings you here? We're here. We want like tell us what's going on. Basically spill your guts. And he did. And this stranger became a very dear friend of ours, Fitzroy, came up to him and hugged him and said, we got you, brother. You can lean on us. And so I wish that he still had that. And I wish that more men had that. And I wish that it was more acceptable for men to just do that with each other. To just say, like, I'm really struggling right now. Women say it to each other all the time. We do. And then we support each other and we offer suggestions and we ask, how can I help? But men don't. And I wish you would. I really wish you would. So yeah, check on your men friends. Check on your friends. Check on yourself. And just know that if you are having those feelings, there's nothing wrong with you and you are not alone. But I would really like you to reach out to one of the hotlines down below, or to, if you have a therapist, psychiatrist, some sort of counselor, if there's a clergy person, reach out to someone trusted who can help you get the support that you need. Because as I said, that part of you that's kind of leading right now needs your love, your acceptance, your compassion, and they need to know that, I'm sorry, you're not in charge. So we're gonna work on that, okay? I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna honor you. But you don't get to control me. So let's work this out together. And I think that doing this kind of parts work, I'll link you down below to No Bad Parts by Dr. Richard Schwartz. I learned a lot about parts work this year in internal family systems, and understanding that I have multiple parts within me who are broken and, are part of the whole depression situation. But being able to deal with them with compassion, and instead of trying to stamp them out and make them go away, I'm accepting them as a part of myself. I think it's working. And I'm better able to, when the dark feelings do come up, there isn't a knee-jerk reaction. Sometimes the knee-jerk reaction, I think, actually fuels them. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But the immediate need to suppress and say, no, you're bad. You're the bad thing. No. Those are the bad thoughts. No. You need to shut up. You need to shut up. Bad thoughts. Stop. Bad. Because intrusive thoughts are intrusive. That's what they are. And you feel like, okay, you're so rude. Stop it. But taking a different approach of when they come in, of noticing them and saying, whoa, oh, hey, hello, wow, okay, hi, I hear that, where's that coming from? Hi, who are you? And I hear you. It sounds like you're really upset. Is there anything else you want to say? And just trying to understand where am I feeling that in my body when the intrusive thoughts come in? What's going on around me when those intrusive thoughts come in? And I think that is helping me to get to a place where I don't end up with the intrusive thoughts clustering together inside of me and then leading to deep depression. I think it's helping. And so I would like to suggest that you look into working with your parts. And in the new year, I'll try to make a video, or let's probably take a few videos for me to explain how to do that. If that's something you're interested in, please let me know in the comments down below, because it has been really helpful to me. And so, yeah, check on your friends, but check on yourself. Really check on your friends. Really. And not just the ones that struggle, even the ones don't struggle. The people in your family who just seem really, or even just people I have discovered that the really nasty people in life, I don't like nasty people. They freak me out. But I have discovered that the nastiest people are also the saddest and most broken people. And they're so broken that they just lash out at everybody about everything. And they need your love and compassion too. So even check on the nasty people. Yeah. Because, they'll probably bite your head off and tell you you're an asshole for even asking them if they're okay. Do I look okay? No, I'm not okay. Fuck you. That person still needs to know that you're a safe place, that if they ever want to not yell fuck you, if they ever want to talk to somebody, I'm here. It's okay, you know. And they're like, get the fuck out of my office. You tried. You tried. You know, at least you got that going for you. But at least you tried. So those are my thoughts today. My heart is heavy. My heart is heavy every time I hear that this has happened, and every time that I think about people taking their own lives. Because I do know how much it hurts to be at that point, at that inflection point in life. It is a very, 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 very not. It's not a place you want to be. And again, compassion for the part of me that's been there, that goes there, and compassion. I'm sending compassion out to everybody out there right now who is just on edge. Just sending just so much love and compassion and acceptance, and just know that you're not alone. We are all connected. Energetically, we are all connected to each other. And I'm connected to you. And you're connected to me. And we're all connected to each other. And so you are not alone. Even if there is no one in your orbit that you can talk to, there are people, real people on the other end of the hotlines that are in the description down below. There are real people who really care and can really help you. So you are never alone. Never. Never, never, never. And neither am I. And that is something I am so grateful for. So thank you all so much. I will have another more hopefully uplifting message, but I hope this was somewhat uplifting despite the context, to bring us into the new year together. I am looking forward to 2023. Maybe we can shake off the remnants of 2020 that are still clinging to us like dingleberries from hell. And maybe 2023 can be a better year for all of us, because we all get better when we do it together. I love you all so much. Bye.